Witness the colossal boxing showdown nobody expected, live on Netflix. International superstar Jake Paul, the sport's most watched fighter, takes on Britain's two-time unified heavyweight world champion and Olympic gold medalist, Anthony A.J. Joshua, in the most dangerous and defining matchup of their careers. This is Judgment Day. Watch Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua, Friday, December 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, live on Netflix.
At Sierra, discover top workout gear at incredible prices, which might lead to another discovery. Your headphones haven't been connected this whole time. Awkward. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
College football playoffs are almost here, and we've got a breakdown for each game for you here on the Ducks Confidential podcast. I am Aaron Fentress of the Oregonian OregonLive, and he is George Wrighster of the Unafraid Show and the CW. Good morning, George. We're recording this on Thursday morning. I just woke up like 20 minutes ago, so I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth. How are you doing, George?
It's 9:08. How did you wake up 20 minutes ago? Been up for 3 hours.
I was trying to sleep in, man. I don't get much sleep. I'm getting too old. I got to have my sleep, my beauty sleep. Anyway.
And then you better hibernate.
Wow. Okay. little morning shade. Man, I'm glad it's almost here. It's been a long, man. They haven't played in almost 3 weeks. That's crazy.
Yeah, it feels like it's been forever. Like the Sandlot, forever.
What's funny is that, so last year's layoff was 25 days between the conference championship and Ohio State and Rose Bowl. But because they didn't play in the conference championship game, they moved back a week. And because this game is up, it still ends up being 21 days. But it's the perfect tune-up, right, to get ready for what's going to come. And the Orange Bowl, which they're definitely going to make. I've already made that clear. I have no worries whatsoever.
I think the biggest issue is that the other team is not playing for the same amount of time, as opposed to the other team getting a warm-up game before they play you. I think that's the biggest difference. If you're off 21 days and they're off 21 days, cool. But, well, even though they're only off 14 days. But if you're off 25 days and they're off 10,
yeah,
that's a big difference. And they played in between, so they've gotten that competitive juices back going and, you know, physicality and everything else. Then, yeah, that's now you're in a fair fight. And it's going to be an unfair fight in your advantage in 2 weeks versus Texas Tech, if we can get past this game. If.
Oh my God, if. All right, we'll get to that in a second. Let's first talk about the fact that there's some wide receivers running around on the practice field. Gary Bryant, Evan Stewart. Dude, okay, listen. Let me just real quick. I covered the Blazers for a while. Evan Turner is always, every time I say Evan Turner, I have to pause and go, which one is it? Stewart. So right there, I know it, but I just can't get past it. Anyway, Evan Stewart and Gary Bryant Jr.
And DeCorian's at practice too.
I thought I said him first. Anyway, yeah, DeCorian. Sorry. DeCorian, Bryant, and Evan. All right. They're all back at practice. Some people have asked, Lanning, how do you work them in when they've been out for a while, especially Evan? And to me, this is the perfect opportunity to work them in because you're going to demolish who are they playing? Oh, James Madison. You're going to demolish them. And these guys are so much better than any of the DBs that they have on their team that, yeah, there might be some things they got to work on in teams in terms of getting back in sync with Dante, et cetera, et cetera. But this is the perfect game to do that. I see no problems whatsoever. Get them out there. Let them run around. Let them get acclimated because you're going to need those weapons down the line.
Dude, this was the best looking injury report that we've seen all season because DeCorian Moore being questionable, Gary Bryant questionable, Sione questionable, Evan Stewart questionable, Trey McNutt, who's been out all year, questionable. You're like, wow, this is good. And then you only have 5 players out, and you got Justice Lowe, who's hopping in the transfer portal. So I'm not even sure if he's hurt. I think he's just out. DeJuan Riggs is out. Solomon Davis is out. Kyler Casper is out. And Janoris Wilson is still out, which probably means that his injury was significant, which is crazy because he played the whole game and then the next week he was out. So it's very interesting. But it is much better to have this injury report trending toward at least some of them dudes playing. Like, even if all of them don't play, you get some of them back. They're back in practice. You're like, hey, we weren't juggling chainsaws. Let's go.
And now Texas's defense is going, we better prepare for these extra cats running around. All right, so that's good news for the Ducks. So now, if it's not raining, I had them at 40 something. Now, if all those guys are playing, they're trying to get them loose, and now I might bump it up close to 50. If it's not raining, they might drop on James Madison. All right.
And there's no, is there even rain scheduled during the game?
There's rain scheduled that day, periodic showers, I think, but I haven't seen the hour by hour yet. Anyway, other news. So we don't necessarily know yet what's going to happen with Dante Moore. He was asked this week about turning pro. He said a decision hasn't been made yet. He definitely has, some time to make that decision. It's a tough one, man. It's a tough one. Does he go pro and just roll the dice that he's ready to handle this? Maybe he goes to a team where they sit him for a year like Kansas City did with Mahomes, or maybe he goes to a team where they're like, nah, get out there like Cam Ward is having to do, or like Caleb Williams last year. I think he needs another year like Marcus needed another year when he came back after 2 stellar years as a starter. Herbert had 2.5 stellar years as a starter. He came back for his senior year. I think Dante should do the same. Plus, those two came back for free. He's going to get paid, what, $4 or $5 million, you think? What do you think he's worth on the open market?
Oh, he's worth $4.5, $5 million.
Okay, so you come back, you're still getting paid. However, if you go pro, you start the clock on that, getting to that second contract quicker, where you start, if you're any good, you're making 40, 50, 60. So who knows what he's going to do? I just think, the guy realistically has had maybe 4 or 5 high-end quality games against good competition in his career. I think he needs just more seasoning, but it's his decision.
I do too.
If he's top 5, though, do you just say screw it and go?
You could, but that doesn't necessarily, like, everything has to be about your long-term future unless it's a smash and grab, right? Like if you are a kid like Anthony Richardson, that was a smash and grab last year. That was a smash and grab. Like you were going to be, like, somebody was going to draft you in the top 5. You weren't ready. Everybody knew you were a project. And you're like, oh, okay, well, there's not a lot of film on me. So they're hoping. So, hey, man, strike while the iron's hot, because it could go left next year. Right. Dante Moore's skill set is that of which it doesn't fade. It only gets better. So him being a top 5 pick this year translates to him being a top 5 pick next year, just only better, because he's only had like 18 starts in his whole career. And you need to get, and another season would put him, 18 will put him at 30 starts at least. Yeah. Well, actually 31 at least, because he's going to get the one this weekend. So yeah, that's a good number.
I agree. All right. But let's say he does leave. The Ducks, I assume, would be in the transfer portal. I'm not buying Brock Thomas as the guy, and Novosad, that whole mystery is, something that spells transfer portal to me for him regardless. So who would they go get?
I think that, okay, so there have been a lot of names linked to Oregon, like Dylan Raiola. Ball that up, throw that in the trash. He's not on the list.
Yeah, I agree.
You have to put people like Brendan Sorsby on the list. You have to put people like Sam Levitt, who I'm not sure if him and Dan get along super well, but that could be a potential thing.
Would Dan do his boy Dillingham like that, though?
The kid chose to leave. But here's the thing is, Dan and Dilly talk. So whatever the issue is, Sam might be X'd off the list, because Dilly is Dan's boy, and right. and he ain't gonna necessarily want to do that. So another super intriguing name is Jaren Kiwi Sagapuateli out of Cal, because he was at Oregon. He clearly wanted to be there. Right. And if the spot opens up, come on, Jaren, come on down, man. We'll season you up just right. We'll get you right in the off season, and you'll go be we'll just trade because it's all just concepts and still on paper now. We can switch out all the jerseys and all the pictures that say more for the Heisman campaign next year. We'll just slide Jared Kiwi Sagapulitelli up there. We got a whole marketing scheme ready and, some clever phrases and a logo ready for you already, son.
That almost seems too ready-made and perfect. Now I was told by someone at Cal that he loved him some Wilcox and that he probably was going to stay loyal to Wilcox, which I still question because money talks, right? If Cal's saying, best we can do is 1.5 and Miami comes along or Oregon comes along with 3, I'm like, you're probably going to take the money. But regardless, Wilcox is gone. Go ahead.
I talked to a Cal booster.
Okay.
They're raising money. They're trying to raise money for that right now.
Just for him?
Yes.
To bring him back? Right.
Just for him. He was like, I don't know if we're going to reach the target market, but yeah. So
whereas Oregon
he made 900,000 but he made 900,000 last year, and he's probably going to be looking for $3 million this year, probably.
Right. So, like you said, he came to Oregon. He was at the Rose Bowl.
Yes.
And then for whatever reason, it seemed like did he honestly think he was going to have a chance to start in 25 with Dante Moore on the roster?
Yes, because kids are silly. They all think that they are the second
guy.
coming. Yeah.
We don't care
and
about
you might
that.
be the second coming, but the first coming is already here.
It's already there. Yeah. So it was bizarre when he signed. I was like, what's this kid doing? Because you do the math.
Dante hadn't started yet.
Yeah, but Dante was just like him, a major recruit who chose to go there and had already been being groomed behind Dylan Gabriel. So to me, it was almost like, did you get some intel that Dante wasn't looking the part so you could maybe come slide in there? Otherwise, it just didn't make any sense. Anyway, he made a smart decision going to Cal where he got to play right away. Now he can do what Dante did where he flipped to UCLA and then came back to Oregon. Sagapulitelli could do the same thing and come back to Oregon should Dante leave, and then boom, you're the guy for a couple of years until you have to decide if you're going to go pro or not. To me, that seems like the most logical thing, but I think Dante's coming back. If I have to guess, I'm saying Dante's coming back.
Let's hope. I definitely hope.
And there'll be a major Heisman campaign behind him. I think he'll throw 30-plus touchdowns, and I agree with you that he'll probably be invited to New York for that ceremony. All right, let's get to the games this weekend. We got 2 good games and we got 2 pending blowouts. Let's start with the first game Friday, Alabama, Oklahoma. A lot of things going on there in Alabama, man. A little weird Kalen DeBoer stuff. You think Kalen DeBoer is flirting with Michigan? If he is, you have to wonder, is his heart in this game? I think he has to feel like if I lose this game, they're going to want to throw me in the river anyway.
Yes, they're going to want to put you into the sun anyway.
Right. So how do you coach under that kind of pressure? And you might be thinking, I want out, so maybe I don't want to win this game, so I can get the hell out of here now because we're not going to win the national title. I might as well get it over with. Because of all that, I'm all in on Oklahoma. Oklahoma already beat them. Oklahoma beat them once this year. So I'm all in with the Sooners.
16. Ooh. No? I'm rolling with them too. I agree with you. I think that you are right about that. I'm a big styles make fights kind of person. And yeah, I would agree with that.
It was 23-21 last time, so it was a good game, definitely close. But man, Bama's just...
Okay, here's the problem. Bama can't run the football, Aaron.
Yeah, they ran for 80 yards in that game.
Yeah, 103rd, 104th in the nation in rushing.
How is that possible? You're freaking Bama. And it's not just his style. I mean, his style could be part of the problem, but they ran well with Penix. Obviously, Penix in the passing game helped open up the run, but they took advantage of it. Whereas it seems like this year, they're not even taking advantage of a pretty good passing game. It's just weird to me that Alabama can't run the football. That's just bizarre.
Yes. I mean, but if you think about it, Kalen DeBoer hasn't been able to run the football at a high level, him and Ryan Grubb at any point in time. And Ryan Grubb couldn't run the ball when he was with the Seahawks last year either. Now, granted, with the Washington team, they were able to be efficient running the football at times because the pass game was so incredible.
Correct.
So their ability to run the football is based upon the pass game being incredible. And the pass game is just good there. So now they're having trouble running the football because it's the threat of the pass that makes the run so dynamic. So this is an issue that Kalen DeBoer has to get figured out and worked out. But he may get to do it at Michigan.
So I'm looking at 2023 Huskies. Dylan Johnson rushed for 1,200 yards and 16 touchdowns. But yeah, like we said, that was off of the passing game. At least they were committed to
I don't
using it
even think.
enough.
How about this, Aaron?
Dude, Alabama has. Go ahead.
I don't think they have 1,200 yards rushing right now.
They have 1,500. I'm looking at it. Their leading rusher is Jam Miller at 493 on only 125 carries. Maybe he was hurt, missed some games. But after that, it's like 61 carries, 56 carries. So they're just trying to sling it. The problem is.
They actually have 1,500 yards rushing now? What?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, wow. They've been on a tear.
on 3.6. 3.6.
Nobody even has 500 yards rushing, and then it's 200 for Daniel Hill and Kevin Riley. This ain't good, brother.
Yeah, and that can't sit well with the Bama folks. They're used to pounding people with the Henrys of the world and the Trent Richardsons.
They have 2.5 times
Ingrams.
Yes, they have 2.5 times more passing yards. And then you had Ty Simpson talking about something. I know that we're still good. This is the best offense in the nation. No, it's not. I wouldn't draft Ty Simpson just because he doesn't understand reality. I'm like, I can't draft the dude. He's delusional if he thinks Alabama's the number one offense in the country. You can't run the football at a high level. And
I think he knows better. I think that's just QB speak.
No, nah. He said a few other things that about them in the national championship, them in the Heisman, them and all sorts of stuff that you're like, kid. I get you trying to be optimist, Oscar, but you need to be realistic, Rick, right now.
All right, so that's Friday. We both got Oklahoma. Saturday, first game in the morning. And I don't understand why this is the morning game. This should be the primetime game because it's the only game matching two power names, Miami, Texas A&M, and they're not playing.
Oh, do you know why?
Group of six.
Because the biggest brand out of the day is playing at night, buddy.
Yeah, that game's going to get horrible ratings. Anyway, Miami at Texas A&M. Okay, well established. I'm a Hurricanes fan. Of course, I want them to win. I just don't buy it. Those losses to Louisville and SMU, especially the SMU one, just stick with me. I think talent-wise, they match up well with Texas A&M, but going on the road in a playoff game, I just don't buy Miami winning this game. I got to pick the Aggies. It pains me to do so, but
wrong.
Okay, good. Tell me why. Tell me why.
So I am highly concerned about Miami on the road. I am highly concerned. Okay, so Texas A&M is they're one of the best teams in the nation in third down defense. The only thing I'm concerned about is Carson Beck throwing picks. But Texas A&M defense is not like a big takeaway defense. I think they only have 3 picks on the entire season. So they don't get a lot of interceptions. But their pass rush is hellacious. But Miami's offensive line is very, very good. So I think that this is going to – but Texas A&M, they give up chunk plays at times. And with guys like Malachi Toney, C.J. Daniels, they can make plays. Right. So if Miami is able to run the football, they're going to have a good chance to win this football game. So I'm just going to say Miami wins and Carson Beck doesn't turn the ball over more than once. And the defense will be good enough to keep keep Texas A&M in check, because if you can keep Marcel Reed in the pocket, bro, he will throw you the football. So that's where I'm leaning to.
Okay, well, I hope I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just being a pessimistic fan in this case, and maybe one day, maybe you'll be right and I'll be wrong. That doesn't happen very often.
I figured you out, Aaron, because when it comes to your fandom, like the teams that you're actually a fan of, because you've been hurt and scorned so many times.
Miami has 5 national titles. Go ahead.
I'm talking about the Cubs.
Oh, yeah.
So you have had to brace yourself for doom. And then you've covered the Blazers. So you know what doom feels like. You know that even if you're up by 20 in the fourth quarter, that you will lose a game against the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. But that's a whole other story. So you protect yourself by assuming the worst thing is going to happen as opposed to what probably is the most likely thing is to happen, because you don't want to be disappointed, and you're like, and you can feel so happy if you won a game that you felt like that you were going to lose. So then your heart doesn't get ripped out.
And it hurts less when they lose because I prepared myself for it. Interesting. Yeah. That's interesting. And you can throw the Bears in with the Cubs too. Both great heartbreak and a lot of losing. Cubs finally broke through. How are you feeling now? 10 years ago.
Bears in first place. Like, are you even thinking Super Bowl? Or are you like, we're still a couple years in?
No, I'm just trying to get in the playoffs. Mathematically, they got Packers, 49ers, Lions coming up. They got to win at least one, and I could definitely see them dropping all three. So yes, I'm pessimistic with a lot of my teams, and maybe because of the reasons you say. Anyway, moving on. Tulane, Ole Miss, really. Rematch of a 45-10 win by Ole Miss earlier this year. Really, this is who we got to watch in the playoffs. Garbage. Okay. Ole Miss rolls. Don't even want to hear it. Don't even try and say. Don't even try it. I don't even care about the coaching situation. Ole Miss is going to take it out on Tulane. Okay, go
wrong. Go. This is going to be a close football game.
It's not going to be close.
This is going to be a close football game.
No, it's not.
You can book it. You can book it. It's going to be like a 7-point victory for Ole Miss. Ole Miss is going to win this football game, but it's going to be a tight one.
Okay, if you say so. What's the spread on that game?
17.5.
Oh yeah, they're covering that. Okay. Last but not least,
hold on, real quick. Everybody is talking about how bad. Nobody wants to see blowouts in the first round. There were no G5 teams in the first round last year, and the average margin of victory in the first round was 19.25.
You're right.
So miss me with that.
Well, okay, but it's one thing to get a blowout unexpectedly, and another thing to go into it pretty much believing it's going to be a blowout. So what was the point spread on those lines last year? I think the biggest one was 8 in the first round last year. The biggest one this year is 20. That's the difference. And plus, if it's Tennessee, Ohio State, yeah, we all felt like Ohio State was going to win, but it's still Tennessee and Ohio State as opposed to Tulane or James Madison.
I don't see what difference it makes. Blowout's a blowout.
That's the end result. It's how you come into it. It's the excitement coming into it. Those, at least, there's some excitement to that, like I said, Notre Dame and Oregon is a 10 on the hype scale. James Madison at Oregon is a 1. And before we get to the game, I've been going through this. I went through this on Talking Ducks. And I went through this in our first podcast this week. Let me check the ticket. Oh wow, the ticket prices. The average ticket price is now down to $80 to $407, whereas it was $170. I think to $650. So they've dropped the ticket prices on the available tickets through the College Football Playoff Committee or whatever. And then there's a bunch of red in there, people trying to dump their tickets. There's a bunch of tickets left right now that you can go get either from resale or original sale. And this would not be the case if Notre Dame or Texas were coming to Austin. Fans are like, do I want to pay a lot of money to drive to Eugene, sit in the rain, and watch what's going to be a blowout? Or do I want to save my money, like you've said numerous times, to go to Miami? This is a dud of a game. Anyway, we both agree Oregon's going to win. You're going to try and pretend it could be close. James Madison might have a chance. Don't count them out. This is like Rocky. So go ahead and tell me how they can win. Tell me how it's possible James Madison can win this game.
Oregon turns the ball over a couple of times.
Like 8. Minimum 8. Minimum 8. Minimum 8 to lose.
2 and a special teams big play. That can get 2? Yes. 2 turnovers and a special teams big play.
Oregon's overcoming 2 turnovers. That's not, and then one special. Come on, stop.
I'm talking about like a pick 6 and a fumble 6. Pick 6, fumble 6, and a big special teams play. And now all of a sudden you got yourself a ball game.
Now it's 48 to 24. Okay. Anyway.
Honestly, it's us versus them. So all you want to see is Oregon play their best game, because if they, or at least play a B+, A- level game, if you can play that well, that means you're setting yourself up for the next game. I think that's way more important than the opponent.
You guys are exhausting. Talking Ducks was exhausting the other day with you guys all saying, oh, don't count them out. And then you guys, what's your prediction? 48-17. So after giving me crap for 20 minutes about how wrong I was for doubting James Madison. Look, this Oregon Ducks team has played probably every team on its schedule except for Montana State, Oklahoma State, and Oregon State were better than this James Madison team. They've went through the wars with Iowa, USC. Huh?
And they
only lost to Indiana. Right. They lost to the number one team. I'm saying that they've played way better competition than this. So they're coming down in competition just immensely.
And that's why you can't take it for granted because you don't want to play down to your competition here.
But they're not. I'm going to tell you why. So I asked Chesney, I did a story that ran on OregonLive yesterday about the recruiting discrepancy or disparity. And Chesney, and he comes in, Signetti leaves. He takes 13 players, which they were all good. He has to reload. He brings in 60 players 1 year, 50 for the next year. Their NIL was $400,000 his first year and $1 million his second year. They're getting FCS, Division II, Power 4 guys falling to them. Meanwhile, Oregon's out there just trying to decide which blue chip guy. Well, we want this blue chip or that blue chip. We need a safety. Let's get an all-American safety. The talent level is just insanely different between the two programs. So the only way you could get an upset is if the clearly better team takes the other team for granted. But the problem with that is that you don't have like an early season game or some late season game or some meaningless game. You have a playoff game. The first one ever at Autzen. The Ducks are going to be completely pumped and ready to roll in this game from jump, and they're going to come out and they're going to squish James Madison. They're bigger, stronger, faster. They're going to be hungry, especially after losing last year with the guys remaining from that team. Remember the pain of that. They are going to absolutely demolish these guys. And James Madison, about 5 minutes into the game, are going to go, holy crap. This is what people have been talking about with these cats. They're just too big, too strong for us, and they're going to be completely overwhelmed, and the game is going to be over by halftime. By over, I mean three or four possession lead, and everyone's sitting around going, yeah, this game's over, and I'm watching the Bears on my phone. Tell me I'm wrong.
I hope that that's the outcome. I do.
Given. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. All right.
See, this is why you're an Oregon homer, and I got to bring it back down to reality. Man.
Hold on, Okay. Last thing real quick, and then I got to roll. You said something about USC losing its defensive coordinator?
Yes.
Who cares?
Anton Lynn. Looks like he's going to be out of there. I hinted at this a couple of days ago. And this is not the only movement that could happen at USC. Depending on what happens at another Big Ten university and their upper room management, there could be a significant move at USC too. I'm not saying that one's for sure going to happen, but it is in the realm of possibility. So that would be a punch in the gonads for Lincoln Riley. Number one, to lose D'Anton Lynn, because he's done a good job with the defense. They've been getting better. And it's funny because they complain about, the talent, and then be like, the defensive coordinator, he should have been doing better. But I thought you said it was a talent problem. I believe that it is difficult to play great defense with Lincoln Riley's offense, because it's so much smoke and mirrors and so much like, hey, look, purple elephant, we're going that way. So that it makes it hard for the physicality to be like that high, because there's so much trickeration going on.
All right, we'll see what happens with that. All right, that's it. We kept this one short because there's not much to talk about with this game. But next week, we're diving into Oregon, Texas Tech, and all the partying I'm going to do in Miami. We'll catch you then on the Ducks Confidential podcast. Are you going to Miami? Are you going?
Maybe. We'll see.
We got to kick it, bro. You and me on South Beach. South Beach. You and me on South Beach. Forget about it. Forget about it.
South Beach anymore. I spent way too much time on South Beach. I ended up with a kid, and I ended up with a kid, child support.
Come on.
What?
two middle-aged married men with children on South Beach. That's comedy gold, baby. That's just comedy gold.
Absolutely not, man. Frank the Tank is dead. Frank the Tank is dead.
All right, we'll catch you everyone later.
Game on. Doug.
Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.